and now we are starting a new game of Kingdom Come Deliverance. I actually have one of the better versions, so I have some DLCs as well. Basically, I think there's all of them. So, enough about that, let's start a new game and begin Henry's adventure. I will go on normal mode, because I actually want to enjoy the story. But if you like it, you can always go for hardcore mode. Now, as you can see, this game is actually mentioning a lot of historical characters. So this is a game that not only those who like a challenge might enjoy, but also those who have history as a passion. One of the reasons why I started playing this game a long time ago was the graphics, and as you can see, is quite amazing. Not to mention that I really like that time, the Middle Ages, when life was brutal but simple. So the adventure begins in Skalitz, which unfortunately will not stand for long, but you will see later what exactly I'm talking about. Now this guy, Sir Radzig, is one of the main characters, and he is involved in our hero's story all the way.
God bless. Same to you. Today's a scorcher.
And this right here is where our hero, Henry of Skalitz, lives. This is his father, and that's his mother.
I should get it finished today. Where on earth is Henry? I need him to run some errands.
He was still sleeping when I went out.
At this hour?
As you can see, the main character is not
Well, it looks
a morning
like
riser,
all
but
evening, drinking like a
he will start
lord.
doing that in time.
Go and get the lazy bones up then. Quick clout round the ear should do it.
Henry, get up.
Oh, now it's time to actually get up
Work to be done.
and play the game.
Get up or I'll come get you up, you slugabed.
Hear that? You'd better not vex him. Now get up quick. Your breakfast is on the table. Wait, what's this? Have you been... Oh, Henry. How many times have I told you about fighting?
That's nothing.
Now Henry does fancy himself as a good fighter,
You've been at that
or
sword play
at
again,
least
haven't
he
you?
wants to become a good
You
fighter,
better pray your father doesn't get to hear of it.
so he does a lot
Know how he
of
feels about
training
it.
for it,
Don't worry, it wasn't that.
but he has no idea how much training he's going to be through
Well, just don't come crying to
during
me
the
if you ever
game.
do get hurt. Now get up, you rogue.
Now at this moment you'll start a dialogue with his mother, and there are some choices which affect your skills, and depending on your playstyle they might be quite important.
A fine state you're in this morning. What on earth did you get up to last night?
In my case, I prefer to go for the speech one. As you can see, you have speech, agility, vitality, strength. But I prefer to go for the speech because this is one of the hardest skills to raise during the game. You can raise all of them easily. Well, not easily, but a lot easier than speech. So, I'd rather go for speech.
Nothing much. Me and the lads were just having a chat in the tavern. Some wayfarer stopped by. He was telling us what's going on in the world and,
Not to mention, one of the reasons you need that speech to get higher is because there will be a lot of speech checks during the game with different characters, and while you're doing that, you will need to be very convincing.
With a sword who turned up in town recently.
you think he's teaching me sword fighting?
Again, you don't have to
What use would that be?
say what you're thinking, you just need to choose the skill you want to improve
All right then, if you say
and
so.
just select the option.
I don't mean to pry, but you know your father takes a dim view of such things.
Now, another way to increase your speech is to go through all the dialogue. You can of course end it from the start, but that will be faster, but you will lose some experience when it comes to speech. So my advice is try to go through all the options.
Did Matthew and...
No, they shouldn't be hard to find. They'll be hanging around.
Of course, I'll be running them a little bit faster. I'll be skipping the dialogue, not fully, but I will do part of it. Otherwise, it won't end today.
Can I get something?
I left some breakfast.
Is father angry with...
He's not happy. He's not as young as...
I know.
Good. He always says his...
Do you need me?
So now that the dialogue is finished, you can already see that the main level of the character went up. Now you just need to go to the inventory. You need to go on the player tab, and you have the stats, which includes speech, as I said earlier. You have combat, various skills you can train, and some crafting skills, and some of them are not so crafty. As you can see, you've got pickpocketing and lockpicking. Here you will have your buffs or debuffs. In our case it's a debuff because we need to eat. Have your reputation. Once you start the game there will be more other places, and you have some statistics. Now in case you need more help, you can just go to Codex, and here you can see the tutorials for anything you need. It will show you exactly what you need to do. You can see some information about the characters in the game, about the society, events, historical events to be sure, as well as general information about different things. But enough about that, let's choose one of the perks. Now as you can see, you've got ascetic, which makes you last longer without food. You've got scout, wanderer, night rider, manly order. Now my advice, since you want to grind, or at least I want to grind early in the game, you can go with this one with ascetic, which will make you get hungry less. So now that we have the skill, as you can see, the tutorial is already telling us about eating and about food. There are two ways to eat. You can either buy food, like for example these pieces of cheese over here. You can buy them from vendors, from merchants. You just need to enter in your inventory, go to the food tab or go to the all tab, usually to the food tab. As you can see, if you select item info, you can see the nourishment level what exactly it will do for you, how it will help you. You also see how good is right here where you have this heart symbol. It shows you the durability of the item. So you can just push the button and eat it. Now you can eat all of it. And another thing you can eat is these pots. They fill up like every couple of days in the game. So you just go next to it, press eat from pot, and that's it. As you can see now, you cannot eat from it anymore, which is quite troubling. But it's not the end of anything. You can just come back later. As you can see, there's another pot over here in case your character goes hungry. So right now the game is asking you to go to father, or you can go right here to do some sword fighting lessons with some guy. Now my advice is to come later for the main quest. They are both part of the main quest in the beginning, but this is actually the most important part, talking to Henry's father, which is why it's easier if you just go early and do the sword fighting training. As you can see, it was enough for me to crouch for a few seconds, and the tutorial is already telling me about stealth in the game. Alright, so now we have some merchants in here, charcoal burner. There are a couple of more merchants in here as well. I will visit them later anyway, because they're not so important early on. So, as I said, we can do this quest, which is basically a side quest, learning how to sword fight. And this guy, Combat Master Vanyek, is teaching us.
Have you recovered from yesterday's great...
That was nothing.
No mother's happy. I don't want to rot in...
Again, I will skip most of the dialogue, because otherwise the video will be just cinematics, and after all, this is a gameplay video, not cinematics video. So this guy will invite you to join him over at this place. It will take him some time to go there. So meanwhile, you can start picking some of the nettle in here, because there is one important skill early on in the game, which is this one, Herbalism. And as you can see, at some point it can even help you gain strength, but you will have to level up to 10. The good thing about this is that in the beginning you will just pick 1 or 2 plants, but as soon as you level up, the character will start picking up more and more plants. So basically, if you come here when you're level 10 or something like that, you come here, select pick or gather, and he will basically get most of them in one go. Now I'm just going to pick a few more from here, and at the same time it's better to head this way towards Mr. Vanyek, the trainer. Now once he gets here, he will wait for you. You just need to talk to him again, and the combat lessons return.
We can. Good. And since today's the last time we'll be seeing each other, you can... Very well. Let's start.
So not only he will teach you how to actually fight, or what actions you need to do, but as you fight him, you will level up certain abilities or statistics.
If you just fiddle around, you'll get nowhere. Try slashing
Oh,
from different
sorry,
sides.
stats.
Unpredictability is the key. Never repeat yourself.
Alright, so now you just have to attack him.
Now you're getting it. Good. Good. Not bad.
And after doing 5 slashes,
The point of the
that's
blade
it.
is stabbing.
If you want, you can delay, you can pretend you're not doing that. But I guess it doesn't work. The game is just forcing you to do those actions.
Good, good. Let's try something else. One strike, I can fend off without a sweat. But if you chain your strikes, I'll have a much harder time. As soon as you land one blow, follow it with another. Fine. Very good. Nice. All right, that's enough.
Yeah, so unfortunately, this is the training he gives you is not that much, not something you can actually enjoy. Still, later on, you're gonna have enough time to train, unless you've played the game already. You will see later. Now it's time to do some more nettle gathering. As you can see, I'm already increasing the herbalism skill. Now, one of the best ways to do this is to actually find areas like this one where there are lots of them and they are not all together, because you can save that for later. After you get level 5, level 6 or something like that, you can actually pick a lot more, gather a lot more, and it will be easier to get those that are piled up. Now this will be a little bit boring, to be fair, but it is, as I said, one of the things that you will need to do if you want to have a good start in the game. As you can see, the level is going high pretty fast, at least early game, and you can actually pick more in just one action. Now there are other plants you can pick, but the thing is, there's no point to do that now, since they have a base value of, like this one has a base value of 0.1 Groschen. So when you go to a merchant, you will get 4 times less that value, basically a quarter or maybe even less than that, which is why the nettles are a lot better to pick and sell to traders, at least early game, because when you sell them, they just keep that value. There's no going lower than 0.1, so that's basically the perfect thing to train on and pick. Not to mention, we have sage over here. As you can see, they are quite close to each other, but you won't be able to pick as many as you can pick nettles. It's because it's a rare plant, a much better plant. So what you want to do is make sure that you don't overload him. As you can see, there is a weight limit. And right now Henry is at 9.2 out of 70. So make sure not to overweigh him, otherwise you wouldn't be able to run, to jump, or anything else that requires a lot of stamina. So just go around and pick them. Now another thing about jumping fences is that it will slowly increase it, but it will increase your vitality, so that's quite important. As you will see in time, Henry faces some strong enemies, and you will need as much vitality as possible when you face them. Alright, so I guess we already cleaned this part. It's time to go look for more nettles. And the closest point I think is this one. Yeah. Okay, so we have some over here. As you can see, the skill increased a lot. Just gonna show you. So right now it's level 3. At level 5 you can get this one, this perk called flower power. Basically you need like 30 flowers type plants in your inventory, and you will get a bonus of 2 charisma, which again is important when you need to pass speech checks. Now, one of the ways to increase your speech is to talk to people, but unfortunately, this early in the game, this is basically the prologue of the game, none of them really talk to you. You only have a few options of talking to people, so you just need to focus on other skills. So as you can see, the nettles are basically everywhere around here, which makes this job a lot easier. You can go, as I said, pick other plants, but it will go a lot slower, and it is already grinding enough. You don't want to make it even slower than this. So one more level, and I can finally unlock the flower power. Let me just check 1 second, because after picking many nettles, there is a hidden skill you can get, but I guess it's not ready yet. Don't remember exactly how many you need to gather before getting it. Don't forget to keep an eye on the weight, so there's plenty of it. I don't need to mind it at the moment. Yeah, so I just picked something else by mistake. As you can see, you are slowly picking those in just one pick. I went only up to 2, while on nettles, if you go here, for example, you're already getting 5 of them in one go, making it easier both to level up and to sell them, because even though this one is 0.3 Groschen, when you go to a trader it will still become 0.1. So I'm just gonna drop them as I don't need them. Now it can be quite tricky sometimes. You need a certain angle or something like that, especially if there's 2 plants one next to each other. So there we go, we've got the first skill unlocked, the first perk of the skill basically, and we also gained this one, resistance. As you can see, you need to collect some poisonous herbs or nettles, usually nettles, and then your vitality goes permanently higher by 2 points, which is a very good thing to have early on in the game. So at some point, this is kind of a spoiler, you will have a horse, but there is some time until that happens, so the best choice right now is to go with the flower power. So basically most of these areas next to paths where people walk are full of nettles. Sometimes it's close to their houses. You just need to mind your own business, pick your nettles, and then when you got nearly full inventory, you just need to go sell them to a trader. So as you can see right now, since the level of the skill got higher, most of the plants are being gathered in one go. You don't need to worry about trying to get each of them. You just gather one and Henry will do the job of taking the one closest to it in one go. Very good, another level. Makes it easier to level up, and it it's close to my goal as well. Another reason why you want to increase the herbalism level is because later you'll be able to craft potions, and for that you will need to gather a lot of plants, and the easier you can gather those, the easier you can go to the alchemy bench and start the hard part, which takes quite long, the potion making. Again, don't forget to have a look at how much weight you have in your inventory. Now, as you can see, there are other flowers or plants around that you cannot pick. They are just here for the decor. Yeah, so it looks like most of this area is already swept. That's very good. It already went to level 7, and at level 10 you can finally unlock leg day, which probably to some means something a lot harder than gaming. Okay, so as I said, all over the village you'll find patches of nettles. I'm trying to get the ones that are further away from the merchants, so that later, after leveling up and when it's closer to starting the game, instead of just grinding levels, I will be able to quickly take them, sell them, make some Groschen, and then be on my way. Again, I'm going to check the weight. As you can see, it's getting quite close to overloading, and I really don't want to do that because it will take me way too long to get to the merchants. So I'll just do this one more time, and that's it. It's not exactly full, but it's close enough. So you can open up the map, and you can see you can just go straight away to the main street and find the merchants. You want to wash yourself, because the cleaner you are, the higher your charisma is, and sometimes they can actually give you better prices. Now there are a few merchants over here. As you can see, if you look on the map, they're already marked. Tailor, you've got tavern here, you've got the blacksmith and other stuff. Some of them unfortunately will not trade you for anything else except what they sell. For example, this guy will not buy or sell weapons. He might buy armour from you, and he doesn't deal with any herbs you want to sell him. So he's not our guy. This guy is a blacksmith, I think. Yeah, he can sell you a few things, but once again, no, this guy can actually buy some nettle from us, which is quite good. So what you want to do, you can actually sell all of them. No, I was looking at reputation, I saw 94 and I thought those are the Groschen he has. I believe this guy, the trader, has more, so we'll just sell them to him. Yeah, so as you can see, trader's wealth is 80. He will usually sell you torches. He has some armor, but it's not worth it for you this early in the game. You need to save that groschen for later. He has some potions. Again, they are useful, but they are too expensive for you this early in the game. And he has some other stuff as well. The good thing, he can actually buy the nettle from you. Now, before we sell him the nettle, I want to show you what happens. So, as you can see, now I'm not overburdened, I'm not overloaded, so I can actually go running and jump. Now, if we pick up some more nettles, as you can see, you've become overloaded and you cannot sprint, you cannot jump, you cannot basically do much when you're overloaded, which is why you need to come to one of the traders and get rid of that excess weight. Now you can basically check what you have inside the basket, and it shows you how much you'll get depending on the items. You can choose to close the deal, you can choose to remove entirely or parts of what you're selling, and you can also haggle. Now, haggling is not really useful here, it will be useful later on, so I'm just gonna skip past that part and just close the deal. Now it's back to gathering more nettles,
Kettles for water, baskets for goods,
because Henry will need the Groschen later in the game. So we just want to clean the entire Skalitz of nettles, or at least until you get to level 10, so you can get the perk, the leg day.
That sounded like... Hey! What have we here?
Yeah, so again I picked up another plant, picked up some dandelions, which as you can see are not getting picked in the same quantity as nettles. It's only 4 of them, while nettles I think at this point you can pick like 6 or 7 of them. Of course, if you want, you can always pick anything that's in front of Henry. You don't have to do it as I'm doing it. But for me it seems a lot easier to do everything with the nettles, and it's actually worth the price. Nope. Yeah, so I've been here before, you can see by how clear it is, but still there are some nettles around. Again, I'm gonna have a look at my inventory to see if it's not too full, and it's far from full. So, as I said earlier, I pretty much picked this area clean of nettles. I'll just need to find some more. Alright, let's head this way. I think there are a couple more around. Yeah, so as you can see, there are some ways of moving fast, but the game will not allow you to do it in this part of it. It's basically the prologue. You are stuck in Skalitz. Let's see if there's some of them over here, but as far as I remember there aren't. On the other hand, you can get the marigolds, but you'll need them later in the game. Yeah, so I'm pretty much back to this area. I'm gonna take some of these sage. Now you can get a few of them at one time, as you can see. The value is quite high now, but once you get to a trader, I will show you in a little bit, it just becomes way too less to be worth picking all of them, especially since they're getting gathered a lot slower than anything else. So there we go, we have a good area over here. Yeah, that one's picked.
Welcome, Henry.
And there we go, another level. Getting close to level 10 already. So I wanted to check. I do get the flower power. I'm surprised I'm actually getting it, because most of the things in my inventory are nettles, which are really not flowers. They're more like weeds. Okay, so another area is cleaned. Seems like I'm running out of nettles.
Come right up and take some home. God save you, Henry.
Now you could go inside the tavern, but there is a quest, a hidden quest that triggers once you get there, which I don't want to do yet. Once I start the quests, I'll do them one after the other.
Strong to sew up anything you need.
Alright, so now again I'm overloaded. Let's see how much this guy can buy. Yeah, so exactly what I was saying, look at the stage. From 1.2 it goes to 0.3, which is making it worthless. The same goes for marigold, which is 0.4. The same goes for the dandelions, which are 0.3 in your inventory. And once you go to a trader, it's basically nothing. So we need to add to the basket 157. More than that, there's no point. And there we go. Of course, if you want, you can always add one extra and you will basically haggle in some way, because you're tipping the trader. You can see you are getting a message that the trader doesn't have enough money to pay you, and it is asking you to confirm that you want to accept a lower price. But as I said, it's kind of a form of haggling. It will get you more reputation, so you can just do it right away. It doesn't work this early in the game, unfortunately, but it's still something you can do later on.
Good health to you.
So let's see if this guy will buy them. Yes, he will buy them, and he can buy only 200. And then he's out of money.
Well, at least we got it done.
Now this lady over here,
God's bless.
she's only selling vegetables and other food items, and unfortunately she's not taking on any herbs. But you can go inside the trading house over here. and this lady will have more money.
Mother of God, you look like you've been assaulted.
As I said, unless you get yourself clean before going inside the shop or talking to a merchant, they will make a little bit of fun of you. So be ready for that. Let's sell that sage as well, because I don't need it in my inventory. Dandelions as well. So she still has some Groschen left, which is why I'm gonna head this way and find myself more nettles. You can wash yourself, but there's no point before going there. Usually, as long as you're doing something that will get you dirty, there's no point in cleaning yourself. I think that applies to real life as well.
Good day, Henry.
Yeah, so in the background you can actually hear the villagers greeting Henry. It's quite a small village, quite a small community, so they all know each other. But as I said earlier, you can only talk to a few of the characters over here. As you can see, the gates are closed, so you cannot go outside the village. Let's see how close I am to that. Oh, this is quite close. As you can see, you can actually check by pressing the info button. You can check how much experience you have at the moment and how much you require to get to the level, and it shows you the progress, and that's quite close. Because probably just like you, I'm already tired of picking that many nettles. Okay, so the next level is on. I can choose another perk at level 10, as I said before, and you can either go for herb picking for leg day, which will increase your strength as well when you pick any herbs, or you can go for botanist, which will allow you to sell the herbs for 15% more. Honestly, it's not worth it, because as I said earlier, you are going to use the herbs in alchemy once you want to make actual Groschen. So leg day is a much better choice. Now let's check exactly So when it comes to strength, Henry has 34 XP. Let's get some nettles and see exactly how much of a difference does it make. As far as I remember, it's just 1 point. Yeah, but after all, you will be bending a lot. You will be doing a lot of squats for plants later on, so it's something that can be very helpful in time. Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly get these from here. As I said, once you reach higher levels, look how fast the areas are getting cleaned. Okay, wash myself and see the trader lady.
Take care.
Now she still has some money left, and because now the level is quite high for herbalism, you can just go to an area and pick some more important plants, like sage for example, in here, and you can get that money as well, so you can save it for later, or you can go for these for St. John's Wort. And I think this is exactly what I'm going to do, because you can pick them a lot faster. Yeah, so there we go. The level allows you to simply clean the area. Same goes for the sage. It's not as fast as you would go with nettles. There we go again with the nettles, but still it's quite good. Now you can of course try to get the other ones, but there's no point. Unless they're all packed up together or they're high in value, there's no point in getting them. Because later on in the game you'll see you can actually explore more and you can get to areas where you have exactly what you need in larger quantities. Where's that lady? There we go. Okay, so sage doesn't really do much, but it's still better than nothing. Alright, so I'll have to go after that nettle later. Now it's time to start the main mission. And you can do that by going to Henry's father. Now, another thing, since I've already leveled up quite a bit and I want to save my game, you can come back to his house. Open the door, of course, and go to this chest and pick yourself some Saviour Schnapps. The reason you want to do that is because the game can only be saved either by going to sleep on a bed or by using, as you can see, one Saviour Schnapps, which is quite important later on to brew your own Saviour Schnapps in order to save as often as you wish. although it is an alcoholic potion, so you need to be careful, otherwise you might get too drunk. So let's save the game. It does show you something about alchemy as soon as you save, but you cannot do it. So as you can see, I already have a save in here. Okay, now it's time to go to Mr. Father. He will moan a little bit because he's been shouting for you, but it's actually a trick to do it, because you now have a skill. As you can see, this is basically a tutorial for speech checks, and it shows you exactly how you can do it to improve your speech. Now, the best way you can do it is to go with what you have higher on the skill. At some point, once you develop your speech skills, you will be able to see exactly what the person you're talking to has as stats, so you can compare them.
I was taking a stroll and lost track.
How, my boy? When are you going to get some sense?
Now I just increased my speech a little bit by choosing that option.
I'm finishing the sword first.
With what?
I'm running out.
I'll need some money then.
Yeah, that's the...
Kunesh, not drunkard.
Well, you're a bit...
Sure I'll be happy to...
Not quite.
You want me to go
And
Her name is...
Right.
Yeah, so basically now Henry's father sends him on a few errands. As you can see, I'm already getting a warning about drunkenness after using that Saviour Schnapps. So we get it like this. You've got to pick up a crossguard for the sword he's making for the Lord of the Castle, for Sir Radzig. You will need to buy a bag of charcoals. Basically you need 10 charcoals from the charcoal burner. The thing is, for that, unless you already did what I did, which is sell herbs for money, you will need to go to Kunesh, who owes Henry's father money, and of course he wants some cold ale from the tavern where Henry's girlfriend Bianca is working. Well, she's basically the owner's daughter. That's how things went that way during that time. So first thing first, this one is closer and you don't have to do pretty much anything, which is my first choice. You just need to come over here, you talk to the guards. Now small cinematics will start. If you want, you can just skip them one by one, or you can entirely skip all of them.
Right away.
And you have collected what you needed, the crossguard for the new sword. Now it's time to go further. Now, as I said, when you go to the tavern, there is a side quest that will trigger as soon as you go into the yard, and that's exactly what I'm going to do next, because it's going to help me with what comes next.
God be with you, Henry.
So there we go. Now there are some cinematics that start.
You can't be serious. God be with you, Henry.
Henry's friends,
What's going on here?
which you'll meet later on during the game,
Just listen and you'll hear for yourself.
are noticing one of the people, one of the villagers, talking bad
Deutsch is...
about their king.
You, Henry?
and they ask him to
Father can wait a while.
get some revenge on that guy by going to his house. As I said earlier, there's a lot of nettles over here, but we're not interested in that. We're interested in going to Deutsch's house, because that's the name of the man who was spouting nonsense, as they said. Now his house is right here next to the tavern. As I said, Skalitz is quite small. Now all you need to do is talk to one of these guys.
So are we doing this or not?
Wait.
Why?
But maybe you know.
And that's a...
Aye, it is.
Why me?
And the problem appears. The man's wife is over here. And she could be a witness in all of this. It's not like the other lady can't witness it. Only this woman can witness it. So you need to convince her to go away.
I just went by...
What sort of...
Well,
God almighty.
He might have mentioned the Pope.
Thank you for...
Now, basically you are telling her the truth. You're not lying to her. Still, you are making her go away. And now comes the interesting part, which will involve this cow dung. And the boys just start having a dung fight, pretending it's a snowball fight.
what are you waiting for, soldier?
After a while, they did get the house dirty. The man's son comes back with his friends, and you will enter an armed combat. We've got a tutorial here on what to do. It will be tricky if you don't know what exactly you're supposed to do, but after all you are 4 against 3, so you can easily overpower them. They will quit soon. Okay, so I increased my strength a little bit, but the catchpole is coming, so you need to start running with your friends. Yeah, it doesn't take much to get away. And as you can see, you've got the quest log, and you've got meeting the lads at Kunesh's, which is basically where you need to go to get the debt owed to your father anyway. So you can either go all this way with the lads, it will take them some time to get there, or you can just do it your own way by going through people's gardens. Or in my case, I'm just going to collect some marigold instead of doing it later. Because you will need it. Okay, so these are quite close to each other, which is why I'm gonna take them. But I'm not just gonna get all of them. A few of them are okay. Now it's time to head over to Kunesh's, if this wheelbarrow will let me. So the boys are getting there as well. If you want, you can now go in here and pick all these nettles. Which you will do very fast since the herbalism skill is now quite high. Now the reason why I want to pick these is because I want to get as much money as possible before leaving Skalitz. So again, visiting the trader.
Be with you. God be with you.
Now 112 should be enough. And there we go. This is basically all the money I could get. Think there is one more thing you can do. You can come to this guy, for example, or to that lady, and you can buy the potions from them. Then you can take the potions and sell them to this lady, but she doesn't have that much money anyway, from what I remember.
Good God.
Yeah, so she only has 40 Groschen. It's not worth doing all that just for 40 Groschen, which you can make later on. So it's time to meet the lads at Kunesh's. And have a laugh about the great deeds you just did by throwing cow poop at someone's house.
Well, we sorted that. That old bad. True, but I'm white. Good point. Anyway.
Alright, so now that you've dealt with this, as you can see, the quest is already done. So the next part is collecting the debt from Kunesh. And this can be done in a few ways. Now you can come and talk to him.
God be with you.
What do you want?
My father sent me to get the
Tell him about
for the axe hammer.
I've got
him
nothing.
owing money to his father.
You know you owe father for him.
I told you I have no...
You can of course try a few things, but he's not really impressed by any of them.
Come back.
So now you can basically go inside his house while he's not watching. And I advise you to do this. You are trespassing and it's not that
A
good.
locked chest.
But
I'll need a lockpick to get into that.
if you
Tricks might
see
help
that locked chest, you will trigger an action. Basically, you can now come and ask Fritz for some lockpicks,
Good day, Henry.
which you can either use now or you can use
This
later.
is locked chest.
Really?
It's just that someone has. Yeah, never heard.
Okay, so as you can see, you get 4 lockpicks from Fritz. You can talk to Matthias as well.
We've sorted out.
Another beating?
Kunesh owes money.
But once you talk to Matthias, you basically address all 3 of them. And they will come with you to push Kunesh at giving you back the money.
Kunesh, get out here, you old goat. I've something to show you.
What the fuck are you here for? You want me to take a whip to you or call a catch pole? Just try it, you old drunk.
So now a 4-on-1 fight starts. Now Kunesh is quite difficult to fight, to be fair, so you might want help from your friends.
want. It's not much, but it's all I have. You understand?
Okay, now he gives you a key. You can get the axe back. Now, if you want, you can only use one lockpick. You can try to increase your skill with lockpicking. Or you could unlock it since he gave you the key to the chest. Now, I don't really need to sell those anymore since I already cleared the money out. But I am going to try to sell them to this guy. Because next I want to get the charcoals. And this guy is the best suited to get them from.
Good day.
So he will sell you each charcoal for 0.5. You need 10 of them. Let's see. He does accept these. You can actually sell him more things. And that's just about it. Okay, now if you want you can go pick some more plants and give them to him. If not, you can just go to the tavern. One of the reasons why I'm going to pick a few more plants is because later you will need some more Groschen when you meet another merchant. So I'm going to keep this sage for later on in the game. Especially when you have patches like this one, where you had a few of them next to each other, it's excellent for you to pick them. Let's see. I'm just gonna go for 100. Hopefully I can get them. And that's close. And that's enough. Now you can do the last step, which is go to the tavern and buy ale. The reason why I wanted to leave this step to be the last one is because I've done the mistake in the past during another gameplay. Basically I bought the ale too fast and then I started doing something else and it wasn't cold anymore, it was warm, and Henry's father got upset. So now you have Bianca. She's Henry's girlfriend, and she's the one who's going to sell you the pitch of ale. Of course, it's better to tell her you came to see her, because this way you get more dialogue options, increasing your speech skill.
He's a good customer.
Well, I'd say he's an...
I'm sorry about that, but my mouth is a little bit dry. You can also try to trade with her, but unfortunately trying to trade with her is kind of hard since she doesn't really buy anything except food from you, and the food you have is Saviour Schnapps, which is basically a beverage, and you don't really want to sell that. So once again, talk to her.
Well, you're a sight for sore eyes.
I need ale for father.
And tell her you need the ale.
Aye. But of course. Good luck. Here you are.
Thanks.
Now, fortunately,
Out of the question.
she doesn't give Henry just the ale. She will actually have some
He promised to teach...
What use would...
gifts for him.
How?
Is that so? Really?
Which is Saviour Schnapps, one of the most valuable
God be with you, Henry.
potions. And as you can see, she actually gave Henry 5 of them, which is not bad. Yeah, so I just remembered I forgot to level up to select the perk. So for strength at level 2 you've got carrying dead or unconscious bodies. For Gravedigger or Stronghold, I'm going to go with the Stronghold because I tend to use shields later on. Now here you will trigger some cinematics, which is why you might want to save the game before going there. I don't know if this happened to other people or it was some issue with the game for me, but it just crashed, so I'd rather have it saved just before doing it. Now you just need to talk to Henry's father and tell him that you have everything and you'll start forging the sword.
We can start. Good job. Let's have it then, son. Well done. Right. Let's see what kind of job the master in Sasau did for us.
So the two men work together. Meanwhile, Theresa, the
Good day to you, Theresa.
daughter of the miller, comes asking for some nails. Now you will find these nails easily. You can either look on the map, but you can just basically come inside. Now, since you have the lockpicks, you can actually do one more thing. You can try to pick a chest that's over here, and it's easy. This is quite hard, to be fair, early in the game. So I just got left out because I don't have lockpicks anymore. But I can do it later in the game anyway. So let's get the nails. They are in this chest. Not only you have the nails for her, you also have bandages and marigold decoction, which helps you heal in case you get hurt. If you want, there are some more sages over here you can pick. Now, once you give Theresa the nails, this part of the game is ending and you'll need to start a new quest. Basically there's lots of cinematics before the new quest starts, so we're going on with it.
That would do. Go and get those damn nails.
Thanks.
She's fine.
Just wondering.
We will.
So after a small conversation, as you can see, Theresa leaves. Henry and his father will go on with the sword. Sir Radzig Kobila is coming to check
The honor is mine, Sir Radzig.
how the sword forging is going, and he wants to test the sword. Meanwhile, the humans attack and the big army comes after Skalitz. As you can see, the village is getting burned down. Most of the people are running to the castle.
Move in, people! Come on! Oh, Henry! Thank God! Get inside, quick! We have to shut the gates! Get running, people! Come on!
Henry hesitates because his parents are still out there.
Go back! Get through the gates!
And unfortunately, as good as his father is with the sword, these guys are just well prepared. They have their armors, they have the numbers, and they also have horses. So this guy delivers the finishing blow to Henry's father. Which is not something Henry wanted to witness. While the humans will kill his mother. And basically hunting down this guy will be Henry's main goal in the game.
Come on, Hal! You can still make it! Run! Find a horse! Ride to Talmberg!
Now the castle doors are closing, the bridge is closed right in front of Henry, but they are telling him to find a horse and try to warn the next settlement, which is Talmberg. Now what you want to do is actually what the name of the quest says: run, because the humans will be right behind Henry. And that's not a good thing, because they are well prepared. Now, one of the things you can actually do while running, you can take some shortcuts, like I just did, and it will help you save some time. As you can see, the stamina is draining quite fast, so you will need to time your running, otherwise the humans might reach you. Now you want to have as much stamina as possible, hopefully no one is coming, and as you go by you want to whistle and draw the attention of the guys over there. There were basically 3 humans trying to assault Theresa, and you managed to help her get away from them. You cannot fight them as much as you want to, or you can try. If you play the game on hardcore for a long time, you might be able to win, but with your armor, basically one blow it can actually deal a fatal injury. So now you can just steal a horse, the closest one. You see you have the tutorial telling you how to call a horse by whistling, which I just did earlier, and how to control the horse. Now your main goal is to start riding as fast as possible towards Talmberg. As you can see on the top of the screen you have a compass which shows you exactly which way you need to go. Now you'll have some cinematic, a short one. You can of course skip it, but be ready to ride as fast as possible because the humans did manage to injure you and they're still chasing you. Now just like when it comes to the character, you also need to be careful about the horse's stamina. You can see that green line at the bottom of the screen. Because if the horse gets too tired, he will make it impossible for you to run away. Now don't worry about bleeding, don't worry about being injured any further. Your purpose is to get to Talmberg, even if it's just a little bit of health left. So as you can see, the horse just got too tired. I'll probably get some damage very soon. Usually when you stop for too long, the humans reach you. So once again I need to stop for a little bit. If you want you can zigzag a little bit, but the road is not that wide, unfortunately. Okay, so you're very close to Talmberg right now. As you can see, I just took another hit. It was a necessary one because the horse was out of energy, out of stamina, and he still is. For some reason, gets drained way too fast. But this should be enough to get me to Talmberg. So you don't really need to get to the castle, you just need to get to this side. As you can see, you start the cinematics over here where the Talmberg quarry is. And Henry is basically now safe. Now the humans are repelled and you get in safely. Injured but safely.
Someone give him a drink, and bring hot wine and bandages. Tell me, boy, who are you, and where are you from? What in hell's name happened?
I've come from Skalitz.
Yeah, so Henry just told them exactly what happened. This is Sir Radzig, the lord of the castle, and of the lands.
Sir,
this guy is Captain Robard.
Tell me, boy, What exactly
the head of the guards.
Did you see the ensigns of the attackers? And were there any more survivors?
So, I don't know what army it was, but it was huge. There were
So Henry just tells them about the attack. And after he finishes the story, he's told to talk to Sir Robard, which will help him get some food. As you can see, not only Henry is hungry, but he's also tired. So let's talk to Sir Robard.
I'm sorry for your loss. You must be all done in. Why don't you go to the kitchen and have a good meal?
And he will lead you to the kitchens.
I heard about your father. They say he was a swordsman who moved to the countryside to make horseshoes. I can't understand why he'd waste his talents, but I'm sure he had his reasons. He had a fine reputation. It's a great loss.
Alright, so once you get here, a cutscene triggers, and you get to meet Lady Stephanie for the first time.
Our good Lady Stephanie of Talmberg.
Sir Radrig's wife.
My lady, I'm honored.
So this is our brave young man?
Certainly, my lady.
Okay, so Henry is quite hungry. As I said earlier, you can eat straight from a pot. But I'm afraid that even that is not enough. As you can see, the nourishment level is still way too low. So you will need to pick up some food from the table. Bread rolls. And there are some pieces of roast duck in here. You can just go into your inventory. I don't need those arrows. And you can see exactly how much nourishment these have. Now, one thing about nourishment is that at some point you will need to balance your diet, which means you need to keep it between 50 and 100. Going above 100 will make your character slower. Going below 50 will drain, will lower your health bar and your stamina bar as well. So, as you can see, they already tell you where you can sleep. You just need to sit on the bed and press sleep. Now you can go up to 12 hours of sleep, no more than that. You can go for less. I'll go for the maximum. But as you can see, Harry is woken up by Lady Stephanie. No, sorry. Yeah, he is waken up by Lady Stephanie, who wants to hear more about the story. You can tell her the story. It will increase your speech level. Now my advice is to just tell her the truth of what exactly Henry was doing. Now most of them are the truth, but you can go with your higher stats, since this way you will pass the speech check.
You don't say.
So as you can see, you can already see the values of Lady Stephanie's counter parts in speech, in charisma, and in battle.
Father told me to take... And then I saw him knocking down one human after another. But then... Cut.
You poor boy.
I ran to the... The med... I needed a horse. And I heard a scream. I had... And I succeeded.
Like a valiant...
Now after a while she will leave and allow Henry to get more rest.
Certainly.
But unfortunately he doesn't really seem to be able to rest, since nightmares are troubling him.
Wake up! You don't want to miss this.
Later on in the night,
What's happening?
Sir Robard comes to wake him up.
Reported a company heading here from Skalitz.
Since there's movement coming out from Skalitz. So now you will need to take a torch from the table. You need to go in your inventory and equip this torch, and then go out. If you open up your map, you will see exactly where you need to go, but you can just follow the compass at the top of the screen anyway. Okay, so when you see this gate, since it's locked, you can only come this way. You can talk to the guards if you want, but there's nothing they can tell you yet. You just need to run forward and you need to talk to Sir Robard.
What's going on?
I don't know. It doesn't... Then who is it? It doesn't make sense.
What else did this find?
Not much of it. And you were right. Well, anyway.
Aye, we will.
After you talk to him, another cinematics will be triggered, and Sir Radzig shows up with the people he managed to save, and he just tells Sir Divish he doesn't want to stay here as he might cause trouble. Instead he will go further, where he can take all the people to become refugees in another settlement. He also puts in a good word for Henry, so now you just need to talk to Sir Robard again.
What is it you need?
And ask him if you can help.
I could use an extra...
Is that a request?
I'd rather...
Of course not.
Splendid.
Now he will ask you to basically guard. Help as a guard. In here you need to watch the battle raiments. There's nothing happening at the moment. You can just run away from one side to the other. There's not much you can do at this point. So just run along for a little bit and you can talk to one of the guards.
God be with you. What do you think?
This will increase your speech skill a little bit. And again, you've got another guard over here. And he will tell you that you can actually skip time. Now, depending on what platform you're playing, you need to press the button and start skipping until morning. I'd say to 8 o'clock. Now, at some point, you hear the alarm horn, and you will need to get on the other side of the settlement of Talmberg. Everyone will be running, all the guards will be running that way anyway. So as you get here, you can see the villagers are here as well. And the entire army that attacked Skalitz. And of course, the guy who murdered Henry's parents.
That's the bastard who led the attack at Skalitz and killed my parents.
Restore order.
Those who...
Now, fortunately, they choose to go away without harming anyone. Still, Henry is not that happy. Now you are still on the run. So as you can see, you need to talk to Sir Robard again. Let me see where he is. There he is.
Jesus Christ.
If you want to actually get more experience in your
But the good Lord gave me ears.
speech skill.
Indeed.
I see.
Listen, lad.
So then
why do you think
You can try to go over the options. And last one, you need to tell him that you have to go to Skalitz to bury your parents. So basically anything you choose over here is not satisfying enough for him. So you'll just need to find another way. Now you can actually start talking to people around. As you can see, you already discovered the trader. But you can talk to them about Sigismund army, and also you can ask them where a trader can be found around here. Because once you find that trader, you can actually sell him the sage that I saved from earlier. And the trader is over here, this guy named Votava.
My respect.
Can we trade?
If you've got the
Now, you will need some lockpicks from him, so get at least 3 of them. And you can sell him the sage. As you can see, he's basically ripping you off. You still pay even now, and this is why I wanted to make sure that I have lots of Groschen, because I will need those lockpicks and they are expensive, well, at least at this moment in time. So you just check the basket, you've got your lockpicks. If you want, you can go around talking to people. Now you can actually take this torch down. You can carry on using Sir Radzig's sword. And let's see. Now you need a horse, and you need to find a way out. The way out is through here, talking to this guy, but he won't let you just yet pass. You can of course try to jump from here, and you can make it out, but you will miss out on equipment or horse, and that will make it a lot harder for you. So in order to do the quest properly, you need to come here upstairs, open this door. Now usually you need to go to the chapel, if this guy's allowed, if this guy will let you. Now it appears that Lady Stephanie is not here, So she might just be in her room, which is right here. Oh, she is asleep, but you can still wake her up. After all, she did wake you up just before. And you can talk to her about Sigismund's army. And you can also ask her how to get to Skalitz.
What's the matter, lad?
I need to get out of the car.
Why, for the love of...
You can basically choose any of these options. You can go for the first one, for example.
That's...
If I could just...
But you can. If you wear
As you can see, she is giving you a suggestion about what you can do.
He'll let you go.
And where
And you can actually ask her where you can find the armor.
Where's that?
In the gate tower.
Now you can tell her you might have to pay a bribe.
How would you? This should be
And she will give you some Groschen. Which, if you didn't have, would be useful in buying that lockpick. And you can also ask her to give you some pointings or where you might need to go.
To ask the parish priest how the
Or what excuse you might need to tell the guard to let you get past. Thank her. Now, this is a check once you steal the armor to see if you actually look like a guard. You can ask her right now and she will be entertained by your try. So, as you can see, you have the quest marked where you can find the armory and steal the armor you need. Okay, now it's going to be a little bit tricky because you will need to sneak inside. There are some guards over here. So my advice, instead of going right inside when these guys can come in all the time, you can just go all around the castle. And you will reach these steps which lead inside it. Now there is another guard over here, but he won't bother you, I hope. Still, you should save the game, because those lockpicks might break, and you don't have the money for them now. Now, I did unlock a new level in speech, and I did unlock some perk. You've got final offer, highborn and lowborn. Usually I go for the highborn because it's easier to pass skill checks with the highborns. The other ones outside the settlements, they're not in charge, they have lower speech checks anyway. So now you just need to sneak inside here. As you can see, you are in a private area, so you should make sure no one sees you. And you need to go down this ladder. Now, to make as little noise as possible, you need to crouch. Steal yourself one of these shields. And you will need to unlock this one. Now, if you want, you can give it another try, since the way to unlock it will move, and you want it to be as close as possible to this point. Alright, so I was able to do it even if it wasn't there. Now you just need to steal all. If you want, you can go down there. There are a few more things, but none of them will actually help you. You've got some arrows over here and a mace. You don't really need them. You can get the arrows. That mace is not going to help you that much, to be fair, so I'm just going to drop it, because it's heavy anyway. And you can just use the ladder to go upstairs. Now you do have some arrows over here and some bows. And unfortunately these chests are not that easy to pick. You can, however, try to steal some more arrows from the barrels. I wasn't thinking of doing that. Yeah, and you have this one, the reliable blade, which you might want to get. I don't really need the bardish and it's too heavy, so I'll just drop it. Okay, and now you can basically go away. No one saw you, so you're safe. Make sure to equip all of that armour on yourself. And return to Lady Stephanie, so she can confirm that you look like a guard. I think this way is a lot faster. No, it's locked. If you come from the inside, it's not locked, but if you come from the outside, it's locked, so you will need to go all the way around. So, again, try her room. Sometimes she's hiding behind the door. Not the case right now. If not, you can try the chapel. She's usually praying in here.
My lady.
God be with you.
As you can see, she doesn't recognize you.
Do I know you? I didn't.
Which means you passed the test, and that guy at the front gate will not recognize you. Now the next step, as you can see, is to find a horse. You can go without the horse, it's not necessarily something you need to do, but if you want a horse, there are some here. As you can see, this one needs to be stolen, this one needs to be stolen, this one cannot be even touched. But you have this one over here, named horse, which you can mount without having to steal him, so no one will try to stop you. You can just ride him out. can dismount over here, talk to this guy about letting you out.
God be with you.
Of course, you can make some conversation with him, increase your speech skill a little bit.
I need to get out.
Says who?
You can actually go for the first option.
I'm Sir
That
Robard's
Captain
messenger.
Robard sent you
He's sending me
to
to Ujitz to find out if Sigismund's army has
Ujitz.
been giving them.
I might believe you if I...
Of course, you will need to lie a little
I'm
bit.
Yannick of Malish.
Oh, all right. Farewell.
And there we go. We have the gate open. Now, you mount on your horse. And you are ready to go. If you want, you can explore the area. But there's no point to be doing that at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you just need to go the same way you were running from the Cumans earlier. As you can see, if you open up the map, it will show you the road to Skalitz.
Yeah.
Fortunately, as you ride your horse and you get past the quarry, which is right in front, you can already see it. The game will trigger some cinematics and you will be... After the cinematics, you will already be closer to Skalitz. So this is where the quest run ends, and you start the homecoming quest.
You'll have to wait for me here.
Now Henry decides to leave his horse behind, and he reaches Rovna. As you can see, much of the distance over here was saved by the cinematics. Rovna is a total mess. People were killed. The church was burned, or nearly burned. Everything looks very bad. The village looks very bad. Even horses were killed. Now you want to get ready for a fight. Let me just get my shield. And I will be using Sir Radzig's sword for the moment. The reason you want to get ready for a fight is because this guy, right now, as you can see, will start armed combat. He's basically a looter. He's looting the corpses. And you will need to defeat him in order to go forward. Now, you can actually mercy kill him. He will die anyway, but this way is faster. So he will drop a weapon, and he also has some items on his body. Now my advice when it comes to the items on his body, check them by value. If they're like this one, the patched hose and the coif, which are low in weight but a decent value, you can just grab them. These are not really worth it because they're either not valuable enough or they are too heavy to be carried. Let's check that weapon. Again, it's not really worth it, so you can drop it. Let's see if I can use any of these. Okay. So if you want, you can try to check the bodies as well, but there's nothing you can take from them. There is a place here where you can come to sleep, but later, since the game will not allow you to do it now. And now all you need to do is head over this way, follow this path to Skalitz. So as you can see, people really try to flee, but the humans and the invading army just didn't want to let them go. You can see Skalitz in the back over there. Doesn't look very well. Even the poor charcoal burner is over here. Again, you can try looting them, but there's nothing you can get from them. As you can see, some buildings and some people didn't end up very well.
Hey!
Now, I was hoping to get some marigold, and this is perfect because I will need it soon. Again, this is mostly part of the grinding part of the game. It's not
Why would anyone do this?
something to do with
these poor souls ever do to them?
the quests. So Henry just made one guy flee. And again, you will need your weapon over here, because there is one more guy robbing people.
What have we got here?
Now, you can get easily damaged at some point, since you don't have much of an armor. What? Alright, so you didn't have mercy on me, I won't have mercy on you. It's simple as that. Again, you have these hunter's gloves, which are valuable. You have the noble shoes, you have the patched hose, and the other things are not worth it. You're already overloaded. But you can check your inventory and see what exactly you need to keep. These are worth it since they're pretty valuable. If you want, you can drop the torch, you can buy one later anyway. Now, again, you can go by value. Whatever is not valuable enough and it's heavy, you can just simply drop. You can try by how much they weigh as well. So these, for example, as far as I remember, are not as good as the noble shoes. So we can keep the noble shoes and drop the old boots. You can drop the red scarf because it's not that valuable. You can drop the green shirt since it's not valuable, and you've made yourself some space. Now, you need to head over to Skalitz. Don't forget, you can always heal yourself. Now we have some bandages, but these are only good if you're bleeding. If you're not bleeding, they're not helpful. And you've got the marigold decoction, which will help you heal. At this point, I'm not that injured, so I wouldn't go that far. Now, unfortunately, the entrance on this side is blocked by some debris. So you basically need to try this entrance, because everything else is blocked. Now another thing you can do in the game, you will see in a few seconds, I will discover a nest. It should be somewhere around here. There we go. And you can try to take it down using a bow. The thing is, early in the game, Henry barely has any skills with the bow, so it will take you some time to take it down. But it will give you some experience with the bow, so you might want to do it. Oh. No, that was close. Yeah, so I'm actually really bad at this. I'm not sure if I'm that bad in real life, to be honest. But in this game, I am really bad. Yeah, so I'm just gonna leave it for later on during the game. Again, get your weapon and shield ready. There's one more bandit around here. There we go. Make sure to have plenty of stamina when fighting him.
Hey, you're in the wrong place. Shit!
And there we go. He's dead. Yeah, so as you can see, the vitality increased, and it increased because I managed to kill someone or something. You can actually go hunting and you can increase it. So again, everything that's a little bit valuable or gives you better armor, better stats, you can keep. Like this coif, for example, is not increasing your stats by much, but still increasing them. Let me just get myself some more marigold from here. And now you are in Skalitz. Now as you go, Henry will recognize some of these people, like the bailiff, who has shard, a good sword you can use. As you can see, is less valuable than this one I stole, which I plan to sell later for some money. But at the same time, its stats are better, so you can use it. Now, one of the sad parts is here at the tavern, where Henry finds his girlfriend, or better said ex-girlfriend Bianca. You have a Saviour Schnapps over here and Bianca's ring. Now, I don't know about you, if you want you can sell it, if you want you can leave it on her dead body, but I prefer to equip that ring and keep it as a memory of her. And as you can see on the map, you just need to go further a little bit and Henry will find his parents where they were slain. Let's see why exactly we are overburdened. Yeah, so this torch has to go. I'll just buy another one later. So Henry found his parents and he's ready to bury them. The main issue now is finding a spade. As you can see, finding a spade is basically all around the Skalitz. But if you listen, you can hear a dog barking. So you just need to head over that in that direction. The louder the dog gets, the closer you are. So it will be somewhere around here.
Get away, you must.
Now the dog is fighting I can't even remember his name. He's fighting someone who used to live at the mill.
I'd say the pro.
Zbyszek. So you can just tell him what you're doing. You can ask him about what happened over here. You can ask him to lend you the spade. There's no point to ask him to go with the violent check because he is stronger than you anyway.
My father fought.
Go right ahead.
Father said he would.
So all you can do now is just tell him to fuck himself.
I see a cunt remains.
Now if you want you can actually fight him, but he is rather stronger than you. So my advice is get your weapons ready.
Turn tail and run, you bastard.
Else he will run away. Now you can get the spade and be on your way. You will be a little bit overburdened, but that's no issue. If you want you can try to rob this guy, but it's not so nice towards the dog. So you can just go and dig a grave for Henry's parents over here. Now I am overburdened and I prefer to stay overburdened because that spade will disappear from his inventory while the rest of the things won't. So I prefer to keep them. Even though it takes me a little bit longer to get there. Now, as you could see earlier, I wasn't able to open up that chest inside the house, so I can try it again now since I have some lockpicks. As you can see, the house is a disaster. You can try to rob the place, but there's nothing more in there. I don't know why it says rob, because it's basically his house. And we can try to open up this chest. I really hate it when this happens. I'll just save the game over here because I really want what's inside it. So I'll just quickly reload. Yeah, this is the annoying part about lockpicks. Early in the game they cost quite a lot and they break quite fast. So looks like I have to do it one more time. Hopefully this time it will be easier. I was hoping to get over here, but here is not so bad either. I think I should have saved earlier when I had more lockpicks. Yeah, so I'm just gonna give up. I'm coming here back anyway at some point in the game, so there's no point. Let's dig the graves.
This is a good place. You're gonna like it.
And this is the place where you dig them. Now as you do the digging, that poor dog will join you. And we can skip right through. Now basically when Henry gets back to get his parents, this guy is waiting for him, knocking him down, and also stealing his sword.
You should have listened to me. I believe there's a word for such moments.
Fortunately, Henry is saved by the Talmberg guards and by Theresa from the mill. And she takes him away from there. Now Henry is taken to his next destination, and this is where Theresa and her uncle live, inside the mill. Now, as you can see, Henry is not done with his demons yet. He is still having nightmares. You basically get a quest to save his parents, which unfortunately doesn't end that well, because there are some humans over here you need to fight. It will increase your skill with the sword a little bit, but it's not like you're actually doing anything. It's just in his dream. Yeah, so this is where his dream ends.
Do you need some help?
And another dream starts that basically involves most of the actions that happened. Now at some point he gets woken up by Theresa, and he has a short conversation with her.
You don't remember any? Why?
My parents.
Don't worry.
Thank you.
Any good Christian would.
But as you can see, he was delirious, so he went back to sleep.
Good morning.
He wakes up again.
Oh.
The beating you.
How did you manage?
And this time he can actually talk a little bit longer.
What? They're all dead.
All of them. After that.
Don't say that.
Now if you want, you can actually wait for the entire dialogue. But as I said earlier, I'm not going to do that during the gameplay, otherwise it's not a gameplay. So, Lazy Henry apparently wasn't well enough.
Got your sense of...
Now after even more days, he's finally awake.
And this is your uncle's house?
We're in Ratay Mill. My uncle's mill.
And this is when he finds out that he is actually in Ratay, a settlement that's a little further from the other ones he's been before.
I've been lying.
Uncle will be pleased.
Well enough.
He's in low.
I know, Sir. I've been
better.
I owe you both my life, and I'll repay.
All right.
Okay, so as soon as you finally wake up, you start another quest. Well, you start more quests this time. You start the Vengeance one, which is get Markvart on Aulitz and avenge your parents, as well as get the sword back. This one you will only be able to do later on in the game. You've got Awakening, which can be done right away, and the Good Thief, of course, which is a side quest and can also be done right away. And it's a way to pay up Miller Peshek, Theresa's uncle, for giving you home and treating you. But all of that will have to wait until the next episode, because this is where this episode ends. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked it, and I hope some of my advice will help you.